Yo, 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 what is happening? Episode 137.
What's up, guys? We're playing some Cards Against Humanity. This is Becca. Got my fam, and we are like 15 minutes away to the new year. Yep, it's happening.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! Okay. Woo! What's happening, making the Millionaire crew? So, it's been a super productive day. Let's run around naked. This has been my makeshift while I'm here in my brother Leroy's office because we've been up here in Salt Lake, but it's time to head back home. I just got done with some amazing podcast interviews with a guy named Tommy Barrett's a comedian, and Sonia Hatter. Ton of fun. But yeah, now it's time to pack everything up, hit the road, and get back home. We're in a brand spanking new year. Here in episode 137, we're in 2019. What I wanted to do to document what's going on in my world right now is I just barely came up with my goals for the year for 2019. So I'm going to share one by one what those goals are. And again, this might be a little bit longer episode because it's just going to be me talking. I'll do a little bit of a B-roll of me going on walks and doing stuff throughout the week. But I want to go through each of these because I have several of them. And why am I doing it? Why do I want to share them with you right now? Because that's the whole essence of this show. I always wanted to capture things that happened as they happened, or in this case, even before they happened. Just like I started recording this before I had my first client, before I lost the 50 pounds, before I got out of debt. I was already recording this. And so I'm going to share my biggest goals for 2019 in 4 broad categories. So the categories are career and financial, personal brand, growth, self-love, and personal challenges, and giving back. Let's just dive in. So number 1, my first goal for 2019 is make working 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. my normal. This has been a big back and forth thing for me. As of this recording, it is 7:09 p.m. A lot of what I did in 2018 is I tried to focus on only the most important things because I believe in the 80-20 principle. I believe in not just like being busy, but being effective. And so that made me focus on only working very limited hours because I also wanted to have the lifestyle of an entrepreneur, being able to travel and do things I enjoy. I also had a priority on having fun and doing what I loved. This year, I'm shifting that because now that I have more of the mindset that I'm still going to take care of myself and I'm gonna have self-care. Now that I have the mindset of like building systems and a team around me, I thought, what if I do both? What if I am super effective doing what matters most and I'm working 12 hours a day instead of 4? So that's what 2019 is. I want to just immerse myself in my work because I'm just done, man. Like I've been watching several episodes back, and I'll be kind of honest, like there's several episodes that I'm like, yeah, it's cool that I saw that that's what I was doing, but I wasn't doing that much with business. And it's true because I wasn't, but I want to do way more with business. I want to be able to afford a videographer that's right here recording this right now instead of me doing it solo, so that I can just be thinking about my work and give you, the viewer, a more realistic thing of what's happening in the moment. And I believe that if I can throw myself into my work and start making some real fucking money, not just money to get by, not money for my business, but real money that I can pay a full-time videographer, real money that I can go meet with some of my entrepreneurial friends and influencers and do in-person podcasts with some of my favorite people instead of just doing it over Skype. I have to believe if I'm throwing myself in my work and I'm working my face off 7 to 7 every single day, then it's only going to stack. And I can't wait to see what happens come July doing that for 6 months, or come December doing that for a full year. I know I'm not gonna be perfect at it. In fact, it's been a few days in and I've tried it and it's been hard to get started some days. Other days I want to end early. Today I started kind of late, but I'm going strong, 7:15. And what's crazy is I know that if I get in the momentum of it and I get in the movement of it, that I'm going to be fired up. And here's something that I think is an interesting thing to note, because I actually just had a conversation today with someone. I used to think that I only wanted to work a couple hours a day because I know here's something that I would want to have told myself if I was watching this for the first time, somebody that's a few steps ahead and I'm just getting into the entrepreneurial game. In the beginning, I thought I hate working, I want to just work 2 or 3 hours a day. But then, once I quit my day job and I started working, and then I've had days where I worked 16 hours and I was tired at the end. I remember going to bed, several times that I've done this, feeling so fucking good. Even though I worked my face off. Why? Why did I feel good? Because I wasn't doing bullshit. I wasn't doing stuff in this like rat race, making somebody else rich or something that did not fulfill me. And what I learned about myself is it's not that I don't enjoy working. I just don't like working on horse shit. I love working if it's something that is, I can see it stacking, something that I enjoy, and I use the word enjoy almost hesitantly because I don't mean enjoy like I love every second of it. I don't love every time I have to do sales calls or nitty-gritty stuff. In the long term, I love it. In the long run, I know that I'm getting closer to creating the life that I want. And so that's what gives me confidence that I can work 12 hours. I would rather work 12 hours on my own stuff that I love than 4 hours on bullshit that's just not getting me anywhere. So I'm excited about this. Again, I'm a couple days in and I haven't had a perfect day since yet. And so it's something that I'm gonna continue to focus on the upcoming episodes to get this 12-hour thing down, to actually throw myself in it, because I have to believe if I throw myself into it, then other things are gonna happen. And if I don't hit my other goals in business and stuff, then I have no excuse if I haven't given myself the chance of it actually happening. Which brings me to the second goal under career and financial. This is the goal that I want to have before the year's out. Get to the point where I have $83,334 in monthly revenue. So why that very specific number, $83,334? Because that is $1 million in a year at that revenue. And in full transparency, where am I right now in relation to that? The most I ever made in a month was under 30 grand. So I've not hit that mark yet. And my systems have not been consistent enough to consistently make me 10 and 20 grand. I need to get into the $20,000 range again. My goal up front here is to get the $30,000 range just fucking down, and so that I can break that threshold. And before the year is out, I want to have my first $83,334 month, so that I can then focus on making that a consistent thing, so that not only I hit my first million overall as an entrepreneur, so I can have Ellen DeGeneres shave my beard, or at least ask her if she'll shave my beard on live TV. I can start making my first million in the year, and then I can focus on having $1 million complete net worth and stuff like that. So those are kind of the steps. So I want to make $83,334 in monthly revenue this year. And it'd also be super rad to get to the point where I'm making over $33,000 of that in speaking and consulting. That's what I want. Number 3 in career and financial, set aside $50,000 that can be used for a home down payment. This is what I know. I have been loving it here. You're not gonna be able to see, but I live here in the middle of nowhere. This is something I don't talk about enough, because can you see anything out there? No. Well, if it was light, what you would see out there is a desert. You would see almost nothing. So I live in the middle of nowhere. And the thing I don't talk about enough is people wonder all the time, can I be successful in today's day and age if I'm not in any major city? I've built my entire business over the last 2.5 years from the middle of nowhere. All I have is this, an internet connection. My podcast, my social media agency, my online courses, my setting up stuff for my speaking. Yes, I travel to events and everything, but everything has come from my home base here. And so the reason I don't talk about it enough, or the reason I think it's important to bring up, is to show other people that it doesn't matter where they are, they can start there and they can start getting ahead wherever that is. With that said, it's time for me to move on from this place. I don't know where I'm gonna move to or anything, but it's time for me to move on. So if you followed my journey, you know that I have quit my day job. I also left my religion a little bit over a year ago. I grew up in Mormon fundamentalist polygamy. I have 4 moms, 44 brothers and sisters, and was homeschooled all through high school. As I've explored life, as I've stepped out of not only the Utah bubble, but my family bubble, and went and lived in California, I realized the environment that I was born in was not for me, is not for me. Nothing against people that believe in that religion. I still have a ton of love for those people, my family that's that's still a part of the religion. It is clearly not for me. With that said, I need to move on. I live really close to the main headquarters of the church, and that does not make sense for my soul. My soul needs to be out where I can expand more. So a big goal for me this year is to make a shift, and me getting a $50,000 down payment for a home is my financial goal to help make that happen. I'm probably gonna leave before I make that goal happen, but that's just a big thing that I just know my soul needs to be around. It's some energy and people that is more conducive to my beliefs and my support system and everything else like that. So that's a big goal. Number 4, I wanna help 1,000 people change the world through improving their personal finances and relationship with money. So I want to help at least 1,000 people with their finances. Number 5, partner with people with major lists or influencers to sell my courses. That's to say, if somebody has a huge email list or online following, I want to be able to partner with them, make some money with partners. Number 6, with Curious with Calvin Wayman, my podcast, I want to get to episode 300. So 2018, I got to my first 150, and so my goal is to continue it 3 days a week and get to episode 300, interviewing some of my idols along the way. Number 7, for Making the Millionaire, this YouTube show, a couple things I'm excited about. Number 1, sometime before this year is out, I want to get a full-time video person that is physically close to me where I'm living, because I need to be able to just say, hey, come on over, I have an idea. And I also need to be able to just work and be immersed in my work while somebody is capturing the footage, so I don't even have to think about it, because I think that's the most valuable thing that could possibly happen for you, the viewer. I don't want to have to, like, this is cool because I get to talk to you like I'm sitting across from you, and this is one way of learning, but I want to be able to teach just by doing, and because there's other nuances that are being missed. I could explain what I did today. I can explain what I did for this last week, and I do, and that gives you insight into my world. But I would rather me being in that mode and then you notice it or pick up nuances that I couldn't have even explained. So the way to make that happen is to get a full-time video person, be able to generate enough revenue that I can afford a full-time video person. And then I want to do this for you as well, for Making the Millionaire. I want to start making these episodes semi-daily. Right now they're weekly. If it's semi-daily, like several episodes a week, because of what I'm working on, I think that gives you more valuable insight to what I'm doing. So that's my big goal for Making the Millionaire. And then number 8 for Career and Financial is to make some sort of weekly newsletter with my email. I am horrible at my email communication. I have been historically. I do not have any sort of weekly newsletter that I send out on a consistent basis, and I want that to change this year. I want to have some newsletter that goes out that shows to just give love to my email list so that that can be nurtured and give my very best stuff that I'm putting out to the world. So those are my 8 goals for career and financial. The big one being get my ass up, get my ass moving, get dedicated to my craft, to my work, 12 hours a day. Okay, now my goals for personal brand and growth. Number 1, write and publish 2 viral pieces of content weekly. I want to have 100 description videos published this year. Okay, and here's the big goal around this. My goal is to have my first viral video on Facebook reaching at least 1 million views. This is a big deal. So I've been studying virality a little bit and asking people in my network, people that are tied to, like Tom Bilyeu, and his videographer is tied to Jay Shetty, and Jay Shetty's consulted them on viral content. I was just at a mastermind with Lewis Howes, and he talked about viral content. And I want to start using some of these things I'm learning about viral content on Facebook, sharpen my craft on making viral content. And I have to believe if I'm taking those tips and I'm putting in the work by writing 2 pieces of viral pieces of content on it, like pretty much 2 every week, then I'm going to have stuff that pops. It's just going to happen. And so I want to put out 100 videos this year with the intention of it being a viral video. Most of them are probably not going to go viral, but a few probably will if I put in the work and follow the principles that make it work, and also just sharpen the craft to have viral content. So I just want to have my first viral video this year. That's a major goal. So that's number 1. Number 2, I want to go on a major show like Tim Ferriss, Joe Rogan, Fox News, Grant Cardone, Gary Vaynerchuk's show, Lewis Howes, something on TV, you name it. I want to go on some major show this year. Number 3, podcasting. I want to get interviewed 150 times. So I have my own show. I'm gonna be doing 150 plus shows this year of my own show. I wanna do that many shows on other people's shows. Why? Because I wanna grow my brand. I wanna grow my message. I wanna grow my impact and footprint in this world. And so I wanna develop some system that is getting me interviewed on other people's shows. Number 4 of personal brand and growth. Develop relationships with top influencers. This is something that has become a huge epiphany for me. The last couple of years, I've been developing skills as entrepreneurs, but I've been leaving a lot on the table by not creating partnerships and doing stuff with other people. I need to collaborate more. And so I wanna do things to develop relationships with top influencers, whether that's direct messaging them several times a week. I wanna start doing that. And I want to start getting shout outs from brands and pages with at least 100,000 followers. Number 6 is to collaborate with those influencers in social media content, meaning we actually create a piece of content together. Number 7, spend a weekend somewhere unplugged writing my second book. Ooh, that's a big one. Don't want to get your hopes up. I'm not saying I'm going to write a second book this year, but I know there's a book somewhere inside of me. I already know the concepts of it. So the main goal for me this year is to spend a weekend somewhere having started it, just to get the domino going. So that's the big goal. So that's personal brand. Okay, now the next category, self-love and personal challenges. This is the biggest one. I have 12 goals in this one. So number 1, compete in a race involving water. So in the religion I grew up in, we were taught against water. I know that sounds a little bit weird, but we were taught against taking your clothes off or going out in the ocean and stuff like that, because we were taught that the devil controlled the elements like water and you'll probably die if you get in water. Obviously, I don't believe that anymore. And in 2018, one of my big personal goals was to learn how to swim. So I took swimming lessons for the first time in my life. I know how to swim, at least semi. And in fact, my wife and I, a couple months ago in October, when we took my sister, Michelle, and her husband and all the kids to San Diego, all our kids to San Diego, and I got in the ocean for real for the first time, going beyond the waves with a boogie board and stuff, so I was safe. And it was amazing. I love water. So my goal now to take that up a notch is to do a race involving water. So some race that I have to get in the water and race just to like get myself out of my comfort zone a little bit. And I already signed up for the race. So it's happening in April. So I'm gonna make that happen. Number 2, this is a wild one. In fact, these next 2 are like really stretching me. Number 2 is this. Before this year's out, I'm committing to sign up and compete in a men's physique competition. This is so crazy. So I lost 50 pounds, did all that. My big goal for 2018 was to keep the weight down under my goal weight. I did that. Now I want to put on a little bit of muscle, and I still don't have my stomach exactly where I want it to be and all that stuff. So I'm going to fucking sign up for a men's physique competition. Whoa, it's gonna start. Because I want to get a little bit more musclier, and I have to believe that if I know that I'm gonna be on stage flexing or whatever, it's going to force me out of my shell and freaking get to where it is that I want to go. So I'm going to sign up for a men's physique competition. Number 3, do my first open mic stand-up comedy bit. This is another one that's like probably a left fielder for most people that know me. Yes, I'm going to do stand-up comedy for the first time. Why? I have always been fascinated by comedy, stand-up specifically, because I don't think that you're just born funny. I think there's a craft to it, there's an art to it, there's a skill to it, there's a skill to being funny. And I'm a speaker, I'm a communicator, I'm a storyteller. And so I believe that going in the fire of stand-up comedy is only going to be good in the long run. Will I make a actual thing out of stand-up comedy? I don't know. I don't think so. But just the exercise, the practice of getting up on stage and making people laugh, I think will help me in every other area that I have going on. That's stand-up. Then number 4, I want to go to a monastery and unplug for at least 1 week. This is just something my soul has been calling me to do, going in a very quiet, somber, spiritual space that I can really connect to myself. No social media, no anything, and I just want to unplug for an entire week sometime this year. So we'll see how that goes. Number 5, play the full song of Fur Elise on the piano. Again, this is another one of those left fielders. Something that you may not know about me is when I was really young, there were some creative things I enjoyed doing. One of them was drawing, and another one was tinkering on the piano. I haven't done that for most of my life, 20, 25 years maybe, and I'm only 31. And I want to tap back into that because I think it will help me in so many other areas, and just to get that energy flowing, because my body and my soul has wanted to do something creative like Fur Elise, and I started learning to play Fur Elise when I was like 8 years old, and I never finished learning how to play it. And it's almost like there's this like block. It's what it feels like. It feels like there's this creative block that is there because I never finished how to play that song. So I'm committed to learn how to play Fur Elise by dedicating at least 20 hours of piano playing time. I'm gonna get a piano and like practice it here in my office and watch YouTube and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's gonna happen for this year. All right, number 6, read 50 books. The last couple of years since leaving my day job, I've read way less. Deliberately, because when you're all in on something, you start to realize that you learn way faster being in the game than on the sidelines reading a book. But now that I'm in the game, I want to be in the game and reading the book, the multiple books, like at least one book a week is gonna be kind of the average, and see what happens. Yeah, I'm almost done with Tony Robbins' book, Unshakable, and my next book is This Is Marketing by Seth Godin. And yeah, I just want to go all in on that. Number 7, go to London and Paris for the first time. This is happening. So I want to make this more of an international year. I booked to speak at an event in Canada, and my wife and I, Becca and I, are going to go see Mumford & Sons in Paris. So we're making a trip out of it. We're going to land in London and go to Paris. That's just crazy it's crazy that that's real, that's an actual conversation, that we can just decide that and make it happen. There's still some things we need to do on the money front, but the plane tickets are booked. The tickets to Mumford & Sons are purchased. We just need to budget a little bit of cash for stay when we actually go. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm excited for that. Okay, attend my first ever Tony Robbins event. This is another big one. This has been a bucket list item forever. And Becca and I are going to go to see Unleash the Power Within in March this year. Super excited about that. Number 9, deepen gratitude. Develop the practice of noticing what I do have. So why do I want to make gratitude a habit this year? I know deep in my soul that when I'm in a state of gratitude, whenever I feel anxious and down, it's because I'm in lack. It's because I'm noticing what I don't have yet. And I want to counteract that with deepening my gratitude and just noticing all the little things. Noticing that I live in such a cool time that I'm reaching you right now through my fucking cell phone, and however many other people can see this. That's crazy. If we just take a step back, if I take a step back and realize how wild that is, and that I didn't have to invent this phone. I didn't have to invent the internet that's allowing you to watch this, and I partake in those opportunities all the time, and I take them for granted. And so I want to do things to practice noticing those good things, whether that's doing my gratitude journal at the end of the day and stuff like that. So that's a big thing for self-love for the year. Number 10, go to Burning Man. I've been wanting to go to Burning Man for the last several years, and this is the year I'm just committing. I'm just going. Like, it's blocked out on my calendar. If I don't have a ticket, I'm going to show up and just go. I'll save up enough for a ticket to buy a ticket on StubHub if I have to pay double what everybody else is paying. I'm going to Burning Man, and I can't wait. Number 11, move out of Centennial Park. That kind of ties into why I want to save up 50 grand for a home. Before this year's out, before I've been saying I'm trying to do this, and I'm just committing right now on this video, before this year's out, I'm moving. It's been a good 2.5 years living here. It's served its purpose, but it's time to keep going and go somewhere new and just, keep things rolling. So my goal is to move out of Centennial Park before the year's out. Number 12, develop the habit of writing creatively every morning. So I've been writing quite a bit. This is something I don't talk about. I journal every day. I take notes on my phone throughout the day, but I haven't had the habit of sitting down and saying, this is creative writing time right now, where I'm writing a script for a viral video, where I'm writing an article for something. I write enough already that I know I have enough content in my head that I just need to fucking focus, dedicate time, and do it. So that's a big practice that I want to start doing. And that's self-care and personal challenges. That's my goals for the year. Finally, giving back. There's two main giving back elements. One of them is to you, my following here, and another one's the bigger picture. So I want to install my Easter egg concept into my business and content. And what that is people get free stuff just for listening and watching my stuff. So this is something I've already tried this week, and it's really cool. So I'm starting this concept that I call Easter egg. Like if you think about when you're playing a video game or something, they call you like finding an Easter egg. It's like a cute little gift. I want to install that in my content where in the middle of my video, I can just stop and say, by the way, this is an Easter egg. The first person to collect this gets it. For example, if I wanted to do one right now, let's say I wanted to give you a chance to have a one-on-one phone conversation with me. Well, you've just watched far into the video, so I'm gonna drop an Easter egg. This is gonna be a real one. I was gonna use this as an example, but this is a real Easter egg. If you send me an email with the subject line, Easter egg goals, then I will get on the phone with you for a one-on-one phone conversation to help you craft your vision and your goals, whatever's next. So a one-on-one phone conversation. This is only gonna be for the first 2 people. So if I've already done it, so it won't be available because I can't do calls all day, obviously, but that's a goal. So if you wanna be the first one, send me an email. My email is just my first and last name at Gmail, so calvinwayman@gmail. Put in the subject, Easter egg goals, and I'll give you a free one-on-one phone call. So that's what I wanna do with Easter egg. The Easter egg concept is, I've done it this past week in my podcast, where in the middle of the episode, I'm just like, oh, by the way, Easter egg, and the first person to email me is gonna get tickets to come see me speak at an event. Stuff like that. I might do crazy Easter egg stuff where I fly somebody out to see me, or I fly to them, or just little stuff like when I come out with sneakers or a t-shirt or a hat or something like that, then they'll just get it. So I wanna install that because that's fun. And then number 2 for giving back. My goal this year is to generate enough money to build a school through Pencils of Promise. That is the goal. I want to build a school through Pencils of Promise. So that's going to be probably between $25,000 and $35,000, and I just want to develop that habit of giving back. That's 2019. That's a shitload of work, a shitload of goals, and I have no doubt that every single one of these can be done by the time this year is out. I want to be able to, in December, in fact, I want to be able to give you a mid-year update even, and say, yep, this was a goal, this happened, wasn't expecting this, so I didn't know if I could do that, but then I'm gonna say, wasn't expecting this, and it's even better than I could have planned. I have to believe that if I'm dedicating myself and I'm throwing myself into my work like I'm aiming to do this year for 2019, then every single one of these should be able to happen. There you have it, my goals. My top secret, never before seen, behind the scenes goals for 2019. So I'm gonna wrap it up right there. I just wanna say I'm Calvin Wayman. Thank you so much for watching. What are you watching, by the way? Well, I'm someone from the future, and I just barely came back here to the present that you're in right now, this moment, to show you how I made the $1 million. And this is part of that process. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next Making the Millionaire episode. Peace out.